Hi, today we're going to finish our blend by making a top or head note chord. We've done the bass, we've done the heart, now we do the top note. The top note is what you smell when you first smell a blend, but it doesn't last as long as the heart note and the bass note. It's there to get your attention, and there's many essential oils that are good top notes. We're going to go through many of them today, and just know that we will list them in the description on the margin. If you go to the margin, you'll find the description and you'll be able to find out more information on these essential oils, because I give more information on our website. Or if it's not listed on our website, we will state that so you can contact us personally. This is really important. So we're going to start with just knowing that citrus in general is good. Any of the citrus can be a great top note. And lime goes with anything. So if you have any question in your mind on which one to pick, lime is a no-brainer. It'll always work. We've already used Litsia, which is a Mayflower. It's a lemon flower and it smells beautiful. We have lemon peel. We have lemongrass. We have neroli, which is wonderful as a top note. However, really good neroli is expensive. So keep that in mind, and we will use it in a chord, so we won't just use neroli. Sweet orange is, and blood orange are probably your cheapest, but they're also the sweetest. Blood orange is a little deep, but sweet orange is really light and lifting up. It's the happiness one, so it keeps you happy. The top note that is used the most is bergamot, and it is used in probably all the essential oil blends, all your perfumes, commercial perfumes on the market. Even in the oriental or, very deep spicy notes, you'll find bergamot as a high note. Pink grapefruit, don't bother with grapefruit. Only go with pink grapefruit. That is a good one. Tangerine, mandarin, petitgrain has a little bit of a bitter note because it includes the twigs and the leaves of the orange tree. But all of them work really well. Remember, always keep your citrus essential oils refrigerated. Only when you're using them, take them out, okay? They will go flat, and it won't take that long, so we don't want to do that. Many of the spices can be used as top notes. If it's really heavily scented like clove, I just don't use it as a top note. It overwhelms everything. But you can use a coriander. You can use cardamom, which has more of a sweet taste. And consider that the blend that we made is more of a floral blend, so we don't want anything too heavy. Something like cardamom might work really well if I want a spice in there with my citrus. You can use juniper berry. It's not real scented, but it is a high note. It just doesn't have a lot of scent. Spearmint is the only mint you'll probably want to use as a high note, and it has to be a touch, I think. Unless you just have an herbal blend where everything is very herbal smelling. Any of your firs are good for that, and today we're going to use black spruce because that's one of my favorites. It helps to work on the bones. It helps the bones be more dynamic and more healthy. And as we go along, we'll talk more about some of these different essential oils and all the different good things they're good for. The black or green pepper, if you use a tiny drop, they work really well. And it's the same thing if you're using nutmeg or ginger root. Ginger root, it's one of those you could use it probably anywhere in a blend. But if you're using it for a high note, you really want just a drop. You can use lavender, especially Provence lavender, which we make, and it blends with everything. Make sure you don't use lavandin. That is not from a plant. It's totally synthetic. And lavender is one of the essential oils that is the most adulterated. So you want to make sure that you buy your essential oils in a glass, in dark amber glass, and that they have a big cap on them. You want, usually they have the Latin name either on the bottle or on the website where you buy them. We have ours more on the website because we have such tiny bottles. Rosewood is an all-purpose high note. It's good with anything, especially frankincense, sandalwood, and geranium. Doesn't mean it doesn't smell good with the other ones, and it has a nice little rose scent to it. It is a tree, and it is possibly endangered, so we go easy on it. We don't use lots of it, and if you buy it, think of that. As far as trees go, Cabruva is a very good one, especially to use with sandalwood and rose. And it's a tree, it's not expensive, so that's a good thing. It's not, to me, it's not as heavily scented as cedarwood. The Atlas or Virginia cedarwood is, that's used as a top note, and it's like, whoa, that really doesn't work for me with my blends. Okay, so that you'll just have to try it and see what you think. But the Cabruva tree is a little lighter in dose, and you still want to dose lightly with any tree. Okay, consider cedarwood, the Texas cedarwood, because it is a fine high note. And I'm not just bragging because it's from Texas. It's actually a juniper, but it's called Texas cedarwood. Who knows? And it's much milder than Virginia cedarwood or Atlas cedarwood, and it's very uplifting, so that's good. And one that is even lighter than Texas cedarwood is the Himalayan cedarwood, and it is excellent for a high note also. And it doesn't really smell like a tree. It almost smells like a flower or a very fragrant plant. But it's very nice, and I would use it with other essential oils that are top notes, like in a Chord, because it will blend well and it will smell well. But if you're just using Himalayan cedarwood, you really probably need to have some other smell with it to get that top note, get your attention when you smell it. You really want to have a little zing in it. And you always put your dominant or most fragrant essential oil first when we're building our top note chord. And keep in mind that when you're making a chord, you don't have to keep to any certain amount, but it's usually about 18 drops that we use to make a chord. And the top note chord, the dominant note I'm going to make today, is going to be with bergamot, as soon as I can find it. Here it is. So that's the one that has the most smell. It's most used in expensive perfumes and colognes and everything else forever. It's been a favorite as long as it's been in use. So I'm going to use 10 drops of bergamot. And this particular dropper has a little tiny little drop coming out, so I can use that with my small bottle. And what are we going to do with this bergamot when we get through? I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Good job. Okay, Next one I'm going to use is Provence lavender. And Provence smells so much better than lavender. When you buy lavender, you just get all kinds of lavenders together, and they don't all smell alike. And Spanish lavender doesn't really smell very good. It doesn't have the quality of, the oil is not as quality as a Spike or definitely not Provence. So Provence goes with any of these, and it'll go with our blend. So we're going to use some of that. That's our next most fragrant essential oil. We're just going to use 5 drops. I keep my lavender in the refrigerator. Lavender has a quality that over a period of time it can go flat. Most people, and especially if you buy small bottles or use small bottles with your essential oils, it'll get used up really quickly. But I have some blends that I made years ago, and they still smell great, and the lavender didn't go flat because I kept it refrigerated. Just thinking. And we're going to put, now if we didn't want lavender, we could use rosewood. That would have been a nice substitute. And we're going to use Cabruva, or we could use cypress or black spruce. Those are all in that tree family. My favorite is black spruce. Juniper is the regular juniper that you buy, is a little bit softer, but I want a bolder Christmas type tree smell. How else to say it? It's not too strong. It's not too strong, but it'll go really well. I'm going to use 5 drops of this. I thought about using 10, but I think that's going to be too much, because I want to use a little bit of cardamom in here to get a little spice. Now, cardamom isn't a heavy spice. It's kind of soft and sweet, and we have kind of a sweet blend, so I'm going to use 5 drops of that. Now, if we weren't filming, we would continue to fill up this little bottle by repeating this blend, okay? And we can even put 3 drops of Cabruva in here if we want. It's nice. And you may have other ideas of what you want to do, but if you fill up this bottle by repeating the dosages and the essential oils that you're using, then since we have bergamot in there, lavender, we're going to refrigerate it after it sits for about 10 days, a week to 10 days, and it will blend pretty well. The best is 3 weeks, but you don't have to do that if you're in a hurry. Then we're going to, next week, we're going to put our blend together and talk about some of these essential oils and what they're going to do for us. Now, true, they transform and become something, unified, but they still have the properties of lavender or bergamot, and then we can start learning more how to use essential oils for their purposes that are more therapeutic, okay? Whether you're trying to just build the body or keep the person happy or whatever your job is with that. And if you know the person you're working with, then you'll know which essential oils work for them and which don't. If you have to, and somebody says, well, I don't know what that smells like. I don't know if I want it in my blend or not. Let them smell it. just let them smell it. Maybe even, if they want, they can put a dab on. But, and if they want to smell 2 or 3, you give them a little wool piece of, like a cotton piece, but it's wool, and they breathe into it a few times, in and out, and they get the essential oils out of the little nose hairs, so they can then smell the next one and see what it smells like. Or yourself, if you're experimenting with different essential oils. Well, I hope to hear from you. Just know that perfume is a meditation of scent, and the top note is the most important eye catcher for your blend. So you want it to be strong smelling, and it's not going to be as long lasting, but it stays with the consciousness of the person that they got that first whiff of bergamot and lavender and rosewood and all these good essential oils that we have. So I'll see you next week. Please like and share, and look at the description, because we're going to list all these essential oils so you can find out more information. Bye-bye.